Hi, students. Good morning or afternoon. I'm sorry that I could not be here today. For today, you definitely need to have your notebook and something to write with. Right now, you should have a new entry in your notebook, and the title is Speech Claims. The date today is 5/20/16, and we are putting an L for a listening activity. So make sure that you put this on a new page in your notebook and that you're adding it to your table of contents. So I know today is a little bit weird because you are doing an online lesson today. I want to go over some of your instructions and your directions for this online lesson. So this first video is going to walk you through how to set up your notes. And the rest of the videos in this blend space are speeches that you will be using to take notes on. So the first set of directions are to make sure that you listen and watch the video carefully. So not just this video, but all the rest of the videos in this blend space. Then make sure that you take notes when you're told to take notes. That way you are all caught up when we get back to class on Monday. Make sure that you pause the slides or the videos when you need to get caught up on notes. So the nice thing about doing an online lesson is that you can pause it whenever you want to. Sometimes I go too fast when we're in the meeting space, so now you can just pause it when you need to get caught up. So let's go to your notebook. So you should be in your notebook and you should have your title, which is Speech Claims. Today is 5/20/16, and this is a listening activity. So while we are here, the reason why we are here is because next week, starting Monday or Tuesday, you will start writing an outline for a speech, your own speech. So before, we've practiced a speech that answered which is better or which is more effective, nonviolent or violent protest. This time, you will be writing an outline for a speech that is your own topic. So let me show you what I mean. So you will be writing an outline of a speech next week. You will want to start thinking about possible social justice activism topics that interest you and get your attention. You will make an argument about it. So you are making a speech, but you're also arguing a certain point of view or opinion about that social justice or activism topic. So in your speech, you're going to have a claim. I'm going to switch to your notebook so that you can see what notes you need to take. So your assignment for next week you are going to make a speech outline. And when I say outline, I mean that you are writing just an outline. You're not writing the whole speech. Also, you will not be presenting the speech. You will just be turning in your speech outline. Your speech outline will need to have a claim, right? Also known as your thesis, also known as your opinion. Then in addition to your claim, you'll need to have your reasoning. And that will be 2 to 3 reasons. So you'll need to have 2 to 3 reasons that support your claim, basically answering why do you have that opinion. And then in addition to your reasons, you need to have evidence. Right? For each reason, you need to have evidence. This is basically your proof. So let's go into depth a little bit more about what each of these things mean. So remember, you are supposed to be taking these notes and continue to take the notes that I'm taking. And remember that you can pause whenever you need to, to make sure that you get caught up on notes. So first, you'll need to have a claim for your speech. And a claim, hopefully this word rings a bell. Hopefully it sounds familiar because your claim is something that you've already written for your essays. Right? Your claim is the anchor of your essay or your speech. It is the thing that your speech is about. When we did your literary analysis essay, your claim argued that you saw a theme and an author's craft move. Right? A claim used to be something like, in All Summer in a Day, Ray Bradbury uses similes to demonstrate that bullying can hurt other people. Right? That was an old claim. Your claim for your speech is going to be a little bit different because it's a personal claim. Right? You are going to write about your own opinion. So it's going to be opinion, and it's going to be about a topic that can be argued and supported. Right? It needs to be an opinion that you can support with some evidence. And we're going to go over some examples in a little bit. And it shouldn't be too obvious. For this assignment, for this speech outline, you also want to make sure that it's about a social justice or activism issue. For example, when we talked about racism is an issue that you could argue about. It could be sexism, it could be homophobia, any of those types of topics. You will be creating a claim and making a speech about one of those topics. Let me check to make sure that my screencast is currently working. It is. Okay. Sorry. All right. Let's keep going. So next, in addition to your claim, right, we've taken some notes on claim, you also need to have reasoning. In your reasoning, answers why you have that opinion, so your claim, and why it matters. And then for those reasonings, you need to have evidence. And evidence are things that you will need to research. Things like statistics and fact, anecdotes, which are personal stories, so again, your speech outline, which you will start next week, you're not doing this today. I just want you to make sure that you have notes for this today. You're going to do a speech outline that has a claim, reasoning, and evidence that supports your opinion about a social justice or activism issue like racism or sexism. So I want to give you a couple of examples of things that you might want to argue about. So here are some examples, or maybe just one example. So a claim, this is going to be a good or proficient claim, would say something like a school should change their policy to include more ways for students with different